Hey 7th grade, this is Miss Reeser here. Today you are doing quiz 2 and your second vocab test. So I hope you do well with that. This is just a little review to go over before you take your quiz. Some things that you need to know and that you should be keeping in mind. So you should know the main characters and the places in the story. So know who the main people in the story are, but also know some of the places, especially more recently. And as they've been journeying, there were some important cities along their way. So make sure you know some of those. You also need to know know the difference between a main event and a detail. Okay, I think was it yesterday or maybe the day before we talked about the main event is what's happening, the big picture, and the details are things that support the big picture. So you need to be able to know the difference between those two. You should know what Maria's watchword for crossing the border was. Okay, she asked God for a watchword, and so know what that is, and also know what Maria asked each guard. Okay, she said one phrase or one sentence to each guard that she met, and it worked for each one. And so you need to know what that is. You need to know the two parts of analyzing a character. And that, I believe we just talked about yesterday, but when you analyze a character, you can either describe them or evaluate them. So describing them has a little bit more to do with observable facts, things that you can see, things you can directly observe. Now, an evaluation is a little more about your opinion or how you feel about the character. Are they realistic? Do you like them or not? Are they an annoying character? Are they a nice character? So evaluation again is a little more of your own opinion. You should know what the turning point of the story was. So it was the story kind of built up to a certain point, and then there was a certain point where things kind of changed, and it changed the direction of the story. So what was that point? And you also need to know what foreshadowing, flashback, and allusion mean. So foreshadowing is when the story gives a feeling of something that is to come. All right, it doesn't tell you that this is going to happen, but it gives you a feeling that something bad is going to happen or something good. Earlier in the book, when Hans was coming home from the hospital back to his family, it said things were too quiet, and that gave us a foreshadowing of what was coming. Flashback then is when the characters are thinking back, remembering something that happened before. And that they had a flashback. Maria remembered back to when she was in Stone City and when she became a Christian. That's what we call a flashback. And the third thing you should know is allusion, and that's when you make a reference to something. For example, they referred to the border between East and West Germany as the Red Sea because to them it looked as impossible to cross it as it did for the Israelites when they were crossing. So that is what we call an allusion, when you refer to another story or another something else that people will know and understand. All right, so that's your review for your quiz, 7th grade. I hope you do well. And again, remember, if you can get 100% on the 3 regular vocab tests, then you do not need to do the final one. So study for that, and I think you will do well. All right, have a great day, 7th grade, and I'll see you tomorrow.